we're going to use our 8-syllable division rules to read some words. Right here, we're going to divide after a vowel before a single consonant. Right here, we're going to split between two vowels that do not make one sound. Here we have a suffix, and another suffix, and another suffix. So this word will be periodically. Remembering that generally, vowels at the end of a syllable say their long sound. We will learn more about that on the next slide. Right here, we have a prefix, so we will split here. And we have this suffix here. So we want to divide after prefixes and before suffixes. We are going to split right here between two consonants, although S and T are a blend and often stay together, but this time they will split. We will remember that vowels in the middle of a syllable usually say their short sound. So this word is preposterous, remembering that one of the sounds of OU is although the most common sound is ow. So right here, we have the general rules for vowels at the end of a syllable. An A, E, O, or U will usually use the long sound, which is the same as the name. So A, E, O, and U has two long sounds of oo and U, or the schwa sound. The schwa is a muffled sound that generally sounds like but sometimes sounds like I. If a syllable ends in a Y, it can have either a short I sound of I or a long I sound of I. If a syllable ends in an I, it can also have the short or the long sound of I, or a long E sound of E, especially before another vowel. So let's split up this word. Right here, we're going to divide between two consonants. Right here, we have one suffix and another suffix. We will remember that vowels in the middle of a syllable usually use their short sound. So we have practitioner. Remember that TI is a Latin spelling for sh, so this is the suffix shun. This I at the end of the syllable can have a short or long sound of I or a long E. In this case, it has a short I of I. Let's say we didn't know that. We might try practitioner. That might be close enough that when you say it out loud, if you know the word practition, you can figure out what the word is. Let's look at this word right here. Right here, we're going to split between two consonants, or you could split between these two words right here. But you might not recognize the word, so we could divide between the two consonants, and right here, also between the two consonants. AU says and GH most of the time is silent. Sometimes it says G, like in ghost, and in a few words like laugh, cough, and tough, it has a F sound. But since it is silent most of the time, we will try that sound first. So we have manslaughter, manslaughter. Right here, we are going to divide between two consonants. Right here, we have three consonants in a row. T and R are a blend, so they are going to stay together, and we will split here. We are going to divide right here because I and O together do not make one sound, so we split here. Or you could also use the rule that we split before a suffix, and this is the suffix us. Vowels at the beginning of a syllable usually use their short sound, so we have illustrious. Remember that an I at the end of a syllable can have a long E sound, and it usually does before another vowel. So that's why we have tree, illustrious. Let's look at this word here. Right here, we have the prefix ab. But even if you don't know that, you can divide right here between the two consonants. We will divide after a vowel, before a single consonant, between two consonants that do not make one sound, and before the prefix shun. So we have abbreviation. This I has the long E sound because it's before another vowel. Let's look at this word. Right away, I notice we have the prefix con. Even if you don't recognize this as a prefix, you can still split right here between the two consonants. Right here, I'm going to also split between two consonants, and here I recognize the suffix shun. So we will remember that this O is going to have its short sound in the middle of the word. IR says We will try the long sound of the A here first, and this is shun, confirmation. Now let's look at this word right here. Again, we have the prefix con. If you can't remember that, just divide between the two consonants. Right here, we have the suffix tiv, because this word, we start with connect and we add iv to make connective. Then we add one more suffix of ity. So right here we have tiv as a suffix and ity. I know ity is 2 syllables, but I didn't divide it here because I think it's more important to recognize it as a suffix than to worry about how many syllables it is. We want to remember that at the end of a long word with many syllables, Y usually has the long E sound. Right here, this I is in the middle of the syllable, so it will have the short I sound. Short E in the middle, and a short O because it's in the middle of the syllable. Connectivity. Let's look at 3 more words. Right here, I have the prefix sub. If you don't recognize this as a prefix, there's another rule you can use. Here we have 3 consonants. S and T are a blend. You can see a list of blends in the video's description. So blends wants to stay together in one syllable. So we will split between the B and our blend right here. Here we have the suffix shul, remembering that TI is one of the 3 Latin spellings of the sound sh. I have a video on this if this is new for you. So we are going to have substantial. Right here, I have the prefix in. If you don't remember that, you could still split here, remembering that F and L are a blend and they want to stay together, so we divide here. Here we divide between 2 vowels that do not make one sound. There's a list of those in the video's description. And again, we have our suffix shul. So we have influential. Here's another word we could try. Here we have the prefix pro. If you don't recognize that, you can still divide here because you divide after a vowel before a single consonant, right here. We're going to divide between 2 consonants here, or you can also notice that this is the suffix iv. It's missing an E because the E is dropped when we add another suffix that starts with a vowel. And here we have the suffix ity again, remembering that it's one suffix even though technically it is 2 syllables. But I'm just showing it like this because this is more about reading words, not about dividing them how the dictionary would do it. So here we're going to try the long O sound, short U, short I, and a long E because it's at the end of a long word. So productivity. What should you do next? Well, if this is helpful for reading long words and you already know most of the vowel and consonant sounds, go through the Syllable Division Bootcamp videos. If a lot of the vowel sounds are new, such as AU saying ah, you should try the Vowel Sounds Bootcamp. And I also have a Consonant Sounds Bootcamp. I hope you found this helpful. Please feel free to post comments and questions. Thanks.